Hey guys, it is me again, as you can tell. As far as I know, today is Sunday, December 19th, 2010. I think that makes it day 353, I think, on our Project Jesus 365. Guys, we're almost done with the Project Jesus 365, I tell you. Uh, it's, uh, I don't know. Jeff messaged us all. He told us to try to make a little video and send to him. He's going to try to make us like a video of, just kind of what we thought about the project, I guess what it's meant to us. And he was going to try to edit us out a little video, end of the year video for it. So I'm going to try to make it after I make this vid. So anyway, guys, I'm glad you guys have been here through this whole year. You know, we've had good times and bad times together. We've had high cotton and dust balls both. Uh, we've had high spiritual moments, and we've been down in the valley. So I'm glad you guys have been along here with me and with this whole project. And I hope you'll stay. Like I said, guys, he's not mentioned whether he's gonna. Like I said, if he's mentioned it, I've not seen it. I'll put it that way. Whether he's gonna do it next year again or not, like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. Um, to be honest about it, and I've said this before too, I think if Jeff decides not to do it on the Sold Out channel, I believe I'll do one of my own. You know, you know, because I'll be honest, guys, I don't know without getting on here every night and putting the Lord's word out there and just knowing that I'm putting the Lord's word out and having that comfort, having that peace, from doing that. To be honest, I think I feel lost without it. But anyway, it is glad to have. It is glad. I am glad to have you guys here tonight. Glad to have you guys here tonight. Had a good church service today. Had a great church service. Had a bunch of the Spirit. I mean, I know as Christians we've got the Spirit of the Lord in us, but I think we can get an extra helping of it, as I like to say, and we had that at church today. We really did. Didn't have a lot of people. I think we had 25 people, which is about normal. But for a Christmas, normally at Christmas you'll have 50 or 60 people, but the weather's still bad here. It was flurrying snow this morning. We've still got ice everywhere. Most of the side roads, the main roads are fairly clear, but most of the side roads and hollers are still just. I mean, they're 4 inches of ice everywhere. Uh, so I guess that's why we had a slim turnout, but we still had a good time. Let's see, guys. Speaking of which, that I had a comment the other day on my pagan rant video on a guy really cutting me down about celebrating Christmas. And he said something to the effect of, if your wife or girlfriend, your current wife or girlfriend, if you celebrated her birthday on an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend's birthday, wouldn't she be mad? And I said, well, I guess he didn't know I was single, but I'm like, well, yeah, I'm assuming so. But God is not a jealous woman. God is not like us. Like I said, I would bet that every day of the year there's some kind of pagan holiday celebrated on it. So if you have to pick a day that don't have any pagan roots or whatever, you're not going to do it. So does that mean we don't celebrate the Lord? Like I said, if you don't want to celebrate Christmas, that's fine. Now I'll be honest about it. I think Christians that get into the deal just like the rest of the world does, gets into the big hoopla and spending the thousands and thousands of dollars and buying presents and trying to impress people and trying to impress their family and all this kind of deal with gifts. And I think that's wrong. I mean, I'll be the first to say it. I think that's wrong. I think if you want to spend a few dollars to give a couple little gifts to your family and if you want to spend a big bunch of money at Christmas, go feed a homeless person or go to a nursing home and spend time and give somebody, give them gifts. That's the way I see it. Instead of giving to your spoiled brat kids that already have too much. I mean, that's just the truth. But I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the commercialism of it all, and I don't get into that. But like I said, picking that day, picking December 25th to celebrate the birth of our Savior, I see nothing wrong with it. If that's truly what's in your heart, that's what you're doing. Like I said, I may be wrong. The Lord has never convicted me on that, and I'll be honest, the Lord whoops me a lot. The Lord convicts me a lot. I thank the Lord for the discernment I've got, and I thank Him for the conviction that He gives me. And since I've been a Christian, and since I've been preaching and a pastor, I'm going on, this will be my second Christmas. He's never convicted me of it. He's never convicted me of putting a Christmas tree up, and that's basically all we do. We put a Christmas tree up, and that's it. But He's never convicted me of that. And, I figure when He wants me to not do it, He'll convict me of it. He'll tell me about it. So anyway, guys, I just want to kind of get off that. Like I said, that guy leaving that comment on my pagan rant video kind of irked me that people just do that and they don't do it in the right way. Me and Ready Prepper have been kind of talking about it back and forth in comments. He does it the right way. We've not been arguing. We've just been discussing. That's kind of the and these people that get in there just snippy and want to argue with you and bite your head off, and they act like they're better than you are. I just don't get into that. And all you guys that I talk to on here, and we correspond back and forth a lot, I want to thank you guys for doing it the way you do, for just being the way that you are. And Ready Prepper, you are one of them. I appreciate you for everything you do, and all you people. Mark Woodson, every now and then, when I get a little sideways, Mark will jump up there and smack me on the head and say, "Hey, stupid, I think you said something wrong," or whatever. But I like, the way Mark does it. He messages me and we talk about it, and we figure each other out. So I want to thank all you guys for just being like that, and you've made this project really an enjoyment, instead of something I dread to do. Wanted to say one more thing, guys. I didn't answer comments, I think, on, this. I went 3 days without answering comments. I answered them for, I think, last night's and then the night before that, but I didn't go back 3 days. I just couldn't, guys. I had too much to do. So, forgive me. I pretty much I went and read them and seen who it was, and it was pretty much the same people that are commenting on the other videos. So, to all you guys, I'm sorry that I didn't get the answer on that one. If it was something important that you want me to answer, message me again or comment again on this video. Let's see, guys. I guess that's about it. As far as all that stuff I wanted to say. I'm just trying to think. I had so much running through my mind a while ago that I just can't really think of it all. I run that stuff through my mind before I start the videos. And, what I want to say, and then once you get going, it's kind of hard to stay on topic sometimes. But, I did notice that last night's video, I think it was, didn't have near as many comments as the other two. I don't know. I don't think Mad Bad Voodoo was on there, and I don't know who else was, but, I hope everything's alright with all you guys that didn't comment. I think it was because like the day 350, we had a lot of comments, and then 351 had quite a few, but I think 352 didn't have many, so hope all you guys are alright. Anyway, guys, let's get to the important part here, and that is, of course, God's Word. We're going to go to Proverbs 27, starting in verse 1. Here we go. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird that wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. You know, guys, that reminds me that 27:1 there, it says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. That's the way we need to be. There was a girl today requested prayer for some she's a teenager, a high schooler, and requested prayer for some friends. And one of those friends, and it's a sad situation. And when I said this today at church, I hope I done it in the right way. I mean, because I just kind of used her prayer request to go into another deal, and I'll tell you kind of here what it was. This boy has cancer in one of his arms, or some part of his arm. And I mean, this boy already had like wonderful tennis player, already had like tennis scholarships and all this stuff. And she was talking about that. She said, he already had his life planned out, all these things, and they had to take one of his arms off. They had to amputate one of his arms, and she was talking, just about how awful that was, and praying for him and his family, how they were devastated. And I used that, and I said, and I hope that she didn't take this the wrong way, that I was belittling this teenage boy for doing this. But, I kind of used it to go into, and I started talking about, there's a saying, and I think somebody even put it in a song once, that if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. That's a line in some song. I don't know where I've heard that. I don't know what the song is, but I have heard it. But, that's kind of the truth. When we get to a place, and like I said, I'm not saying that God punished this teenage boy for doing this or anything, but, things just happen. When we get to the point to where we think, okay, when I've got my life planned out, I know how my life's going to go. I'm going to go to college and do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to play this, and I'm going to get married to this, and I'm going to have this many kids, and I'm going to live in this size house, and I'm going to drive this car. That's what we tend to do as humans. We want to plan all that out because we want to see this perfect future. And, very seldom does that ever happen. I try to pray, and I think that's why even with kids, even with young kids, we need to tell kids as young as we can, hey, this right here is what matters in life. God is what matters. Having a relationship with God, having a relationship with Jesus Christ, being saved and doing His will is what matters. If you end up going to college and being a whatever professor, brain surgeon, and all these other things that you've got planned out, if that being God's will and that stuff happens, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, But I'd rather be in God's will, I'd rather be in God's will and be a failure in the world's eyes as not be in God's will and be a success, And God will make sure that happens. If you're in God's will, or if God's wanting you to do something, God will change your life around to get you to do what He wants you to do. So the quicker we can get in His will, the better. Anyway, guys, I just kind of wanted to add that. It's good to have you guys here. Like I said, I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to make my vid for the other one. So, good Lord willing, I'll be here tomorrow night, guys. Pray for me as usual. Pray for my business. Pray for my church. Pray for everything that you can. Pray for my family. I'm gonna get off here. So I noticed behind me there a stupid Christmas movie. I think it's called Deck the Halls. It's another one of them. I'm gonna have to cut it off because I'm gonna end up throwing something through my TV. These old stupid Christmas movies get on my nerves. That and Christmas music. Unless it's spiritually based Christmas music, I don't mind that. But Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Baby, it makes me want to shoot the radio. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. If you need anything, holler at me. And till I see you guys again, good night and God bless. Love you all.